Hey, Kirsten and Kiki. Hey, Ron Francis here. I'm working in Dallas for my day job. Hey, I wanted to share this quick video, just some things I've been thinking about. This past week, I did an interview for the podcast with the new CEO of Eagle Rider, and that's the biggest motorcycle rental company in the world, and they're probably going to be the biggest motorcycle touring company in the world. And we had a couple of preliminary discussions before the interview, but I want to summarize that and just pass along some thoughts. One of the things he mentioned is that his company is looking for how do you reach the next generation for rentals and for touring. And so I literally just went to my kids. My son Brad is in his 30s and my daughter Stephanie is in her upper 20s. I asked them, what is your generation interested in? And both of them collectively came back with the same thing. And I think it ties in directly to what you're involved with, each involved with, justice, global justice, whatever that might look like. So here's what I relayed to the CEO of Eagle Rider when we talked. And this part wasn't recorded, so this is not going to be on the podcast that I'm going to be publishing this coming week. But this is what we talked about. I told him the same thing, justice. That's what my kids came up with. And I said, let me give you an example. I said, I was on a plane trip a number of years ago with on a flight from Denver to Puerto Vallarta. And a young lady that was sitting across from me on the plane, I just said, hello, and what are you planning to do in Puerto Vallarta? And what she described, she said, me and my girlfriends, we're all college friends, and we're going to go down to the beach, and we're going to drink some beers, and have some margaritas, and we're going to just soak up the sun and have a great time. Great, that's fantastic. So she asked me the same thing. And I said, I'm actually here on this plane. There's 8 other men. I'm the ninth man in this group. We're all friends from church, actually. But so we're going to Puerto Vallarta too. We're going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to have a few beers and drink some margaritas and sit out on the beach. But we're also going down to visit an orphanage that a lady from our church had started. And an outreach of that orphanage is to support the local community, which includes a drug and alcohol center for men out there, actually down in Manzanillo, Mexico. So I said, what we've done, us 9 men, we've collected some money together, personal funds, and we are going to go down and meet with the leaders who are building this drug and alcohol center. We're going to give them the money to buy materials that it's going to take to build it, and we're going to be hands-on. We're going to help as much as we can over the next 10 days to build that drug and alcohol rehab center for those men. And I said, I'm really excited about that. Well, anyway, I'm telling this lady on the plane next to me about all this stuff, and dead silence, nothing. So we go through the rest of the flight. And as we're landing at Puerto Vallarta, the lady that I was spoken to, she reached over, grabbed me by the arm and looked so serious at me. And she said, you made me feel so guilty. And I said, I'm sorry. But I thought what was so interesting about that and how does that tie into everything else? Here's what I told as I relayed that story to the CEO of Eagle Rider. I said, I firmly believe that there is a group of people, younger people, who are interested in justice. Yes, they need motorcycle rides and they need motorcycle trips and tours or whatever to kind of help up here. I need that, for mental health. But they also need some help down here too. They need some help in the heart too. So it's one thing to take people for a motorcycle ride, for a motorcycle tour, take them to the Grand Canyon and have them sit on the edge of the Grand Canyon and hang their legs off and get a picture with a beer in their hand. And they are having a great time. And that's happiness. They're having a great time. But it's another thing, though, perhaps, to take a tour by motorcycle and go visit the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, which I've been to before, and actually go there to take funds also to help build a school for the Native American children. And to be able to meet the teachers and, like I have done before, actually meet the chief of the Oglala Nation and shake his hand. And that is joy. So you got happiness, you got joy. There's a big difference between the two. I'm absolutely convinced. And the CEO, by the way, the CEO of the company, he was thinking about this. And I said, I believe that that's the next thing in tourism, that those who have the funds to go out and do a tour on a motorcycle, if you can couple that with the greater good, where they know that, yes, I took a trip, I had a great time, I had a few beers, and I saw some wonderful things, but I also shook the hand of the chief of the Indian nation at this reservation, and he blessed me for giving them money and helping provide tools so that they can have a better life. That's the future of tourism. So I'm just thinking out loud here. I have no notes. I'm just sitting in a little small room here in Coppell, Texas, near Dallas, Texas. But I just wanted to share this with you and get your thoughts. I definitely want to talk with both of you too on the podcast. Kiki, I can't wait to get to know you too, as I've gotten to know Kirsten. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about my next step in a career too. Honestly, I'm thinking about, I'm proud of the content that I've created thus far for the Peace Love Moto podcast. 64 episodes thus far. The ideas have just come into my head, honestly, through my heart. And I don't know where those ideas are coming from. But I feel like, though, that it's something I want to continue to take very seriously. I got to figure out social media. I don't do that well at all to advertise things. But I think greater good, and just as my kids say, justice, I think that's super duper important. And if I were to turn that into a full-time career or full-time focus, I'll do it. And I just want to thank you both for what I've already seen evidence of what you both do. And I think there's some good things that can happen. So anyway, I wanted to relay this. I'll post it on YouTube so I can just send you the link, and appreciate your feedback. And look forward to talking with you both. Take care. I fly back to Denver tomorrow night. Thank goodness. Ready to get back on. Take care. Bye.